Those are my very first steps ever on the Appalachian Trail.
Hi there, this is my channel, Yaru Walks. In the year 2024, I will embark on an epic walking journey across the United States. I plan to hike 8,000 miles and to cross the US 3 times, via the Appalachian Trail, Pacific Crest Trail, and Continental Divide Trail. In the hiking world, this is known as a calendar year Triple Crown and has been completed by only a handful of hikers in history. The calendar year Triple Crown has traditionally been completed by jumping within or between the trails throughout the year, primarily to avoid snow, but also to avoid other seasonal hazards such as floods, extreme desert heat, and wildfires. For my attempt, I'm trying to hike each trail on a continuous, unbroken, end-to-end footpath, and to accomplish this, I must hike across all 4 seasons. I will be posting weekly updates along the way, so you can join me for the journey. Wish me luck.
Couldn't tell if that was a coyote or a Chihuahua howling back there. I think it was a Chihuahua, which is perfectly fitting because my remaining hike over the next 3 to 4 days is across the Chihuahua Desert, which spans across northeastern Mexico, but then kind of spills across the border into southwestern New Mexico. The deserts always have the coolest names. The desert in Southern California is called the Mojave. And then in Southern Arizona, you have the Sonoran Desert. And then, as I said, here in Southern New Mexico, you have the Chihuahua Desert. And as of the last 14 months or so, I will have successfully hiked across all 3 of those deserts. The desert environment is my favorite environment to hike, so I'm pretty excited to finish across the Chihuahua. And now, wow, if I zoom in, you can see how this highway goes all the way out there. See those headlights? Individual car headlights all the way out there. I'm gonna pull up the map and see how far away that is out there. So I just checked on my map. That road all the way out there behind that first hill, back to where it terminates at the second foothill, is 32 miles away. Approaching the town of Lordsburg now. I think a couple hours ago, the city glow was just faint dots off on the horizon. Now a couple hours later, I'm coming right up on it. Lordsburg feels like the end of the American Empire. Remember going to the water park in the 1990s where it had the AstroTurf floor and they made curly Q fries that were seasoned? That curly Q seasoned fry smell with the water evaporating off the AstroTurf, a little bit of chlorine and mop cleanser smell. It's exactly what Lordsburg is like.
Get up top, take your pictures of the fog, sign the book, cry a little bit.
They're saying it's going to rain for a day and a half, like tonight and tomorrow.
Again, it feels weird like referring to viewers when I have like currently no viewers.
I wanted to be the first one to sign in and the last ticket on Karajan.
No part of me wants to like film myself kind of like walking like this right now, like as if that's what I'm doing. The reality is that I'm going, ow, ow. In my mind, I separate pain that's uncomfortable from pain that's injuring me or could really hurt me. And the pain that's uncomfortable is really not an issue.
How's it going?
I sailed across the Atlantic to smuggle a barrel of scotch.
Yeah.
And my ship sank.
In the cube.
It's not that cold. This way with the room. No trees there, so that's actually slidable. This will be fun. Things first, luckily. Ow. See? Calling that 60 degrees. About how dangerous this stretch is. Much better spot on the river to cross. This is my fourth time crossing this. Much better spot on the river to cross. This is my fourth time crossing this now to make this happen. That is how you ford the Kennebec in May. Just walking across the desert. I got lost, not lost, but I took a wrong turn off trail, so I'm just bushwhacking the shortest path back to the trail, which is I think up and over this hill, and then maybe I'll have line of sight on the trail. This is what it looks like out here though. I've heard stories from people hiking the CDT who say that in New Mexico there are sections where it's really hard to follow the trail especially because there are cow trails. So this is some type of off-road vehicle trail. This is an actual cow trail. If you look way over there, that sign in the distance is the actual CDT. Keep losing mileage today because I keep getting lost off trail onto these cow trails. It's very hard to follow the actual trail. I'm generally moving in the right direction, though I did make a wrong turn maybe 2 hours back where I went around the wrong side of a mountain. And I thought, well, I made it this far, let's just keep going this way and I'll bushwhack back onto the trail. It ended up being miserably slow. And then anyway, I've reconnected to the trail. And I'm just seeing, now that I've really got to pay attention, keep checking far out every, 5 or 10 minutes, because it's so easy to get lost going the wrong way and lose time. That is a Border Patrol drone. And I know that it's one. Number one, it's moving very slow. And number two, I was watching it move across the horizon. And I'm not going this way, I'm going that way eventually. But the border with Mexico is like 20 miles out that way. And so that light in the sky was going this way really slowly, and I've been watching it. It doesn't look like a normal plane. It was going that way, and then it stopped, and it did a 90-degree turn, and it came right towards me. It's flying right on me. It's watching me. I have no doubt it was going that way for the last 10 minutes, which it should not have been in my line of sight for 10 minutes if it was a plane. And then it turned and it came, and now it's coming right at me. There's another drone up there. This is off to the east. And then further down there's another one. And then further down there's another one. So imagine a line just shooting. Those lights are hovering. So what I'm saying is the United States border has drones marking it, monitoring the border. That is so fascinating. No rocks. Obviously nothing. Wow. This is a funny morning update, but look. Somewhere out there, there's something. There it is. Look at that thing in the sky. It's perfectly stationary. It looks like some type of controllable balloon. And so this is another shift. You can see the little, like, what I think are yucca plants have grown higher. What is the low desert? So out here you just have shrub plants and then these yucca plants, but the yucca plants have grown like trees. Thought of one more thing to mention this morning. Last night I had 3 different Border Patrol agents stop me. Every encounter I've had with law enforcement has been one of them checking in, but quite literally not having a judgmental or skeptical tone, just checking in. And then once we kind of like, established who we were, what we're doing, they followed up to say, if you need any kind of help, don't hesitate to call 911, meaning like, out here, don't think of it like, oh, I have to wait to the last minute if you have a problem or an emergency. Just call ahead. We'll come out and we'll come pick you up or we'll help you out. Every Border Patrol agent said the same thing. So it's a really neat experience to encounter these people and see how just like excellent, how good of people they are. You get the sense that even if they caught like people crossing the border out here, that yeah, they would probably round you up and eventually send you back to whichever country you came from. But in the process, I think it would be a very professional encounter where they would have compassion for those people and understand where they're coming from. They're obviously tough people, the enforcers out here, but at the same time, they are not like the judgmental stereotype you might have in your head. They're actually like pretty, like I would say, like far above average social intelligence. The people that I've encountered out here in Colorado and down here in New Mexico. So anyway, it's funny. I remember kicking off the journey at the Canadian border as part of my AT southbound attempt, and I had a Border Patrol agent roll up on me when I was like 30 seconds from the border. And, likewise, he just wanted to know what I was doing out there in the middle of January at 1 a.m. walking towards the border on a back road, not a main road. And I explained to him, and he's like, oh, okay. And he said, well, and I was like, is it okay if I go up there? And he's like, yeah. And I was like, is there a way to tell where the border is? I don't want to go over it. He's like, yeah, there's a little like a pentagonal obelisk right there. You can't miss it. I was like, can I touch it? He's like, yeah, you can touch it. Just don't go past it. I was like, all right, fair enough. So anyway, it's kind of neat. It feels like coming home to the border again and then re-meeting the Border Patrol agents. As I say it, there's one right up here. You can see the headlights. December 31st, last day of the year. I got 3 hours of sleep last night and then got up and started hiking again. I'm feeling the effects of sleep deprivation this afternoon, and I definitely was feeling it last night. It was so strange. It was like if you've ever sat in a chair and like nodded off. I was nodding off while I was walking, and the sensation was one of like almost like you're falling through the ground. your knees would kind of buckle, but it felt like your feet were just kind of pushing through the ground. And then it would happen in about 1/10 of a second, and then I wake back up and keep moving, like catch myself before I would fall. So anyway, yeah, I eked out an extra 10 miles last night that I did not think I had in me, and I'm glad I did that, because I would be in pretty serious trouble at this point right now. I'm hiking as fast as I can right now, still trying to make it to the border before midnight. It's been an ongoing race for about 2 weeks now, and especially in the last 3 days. All right, it is now 4:49, 5 o'clock p.m. The sun is setting behind the mountains over there, and I still have 16 miles to go to reach the border of Mexico and the CDT southern terminus. It is crazy how down to the wire this is coming. You consider it's a year-long project, and I have come down to the very last day of the year, and I'm having to hike fast to make it to the border. All year long, I've been trying to keep a comfortable buffer, and I've had little things just eke away, is that a thing? Let's just say eating away, nibbling away that buffer. I got Giardia, which put me out for 5 days on the CDT, or on the AT. I got norovirus, which put me out for 5 days on the PCT. I got the flu, or maybe COVID, but at least the flu, which put me out for 5 days on the CDT. And then with each of those sicknesses, I'm returning to hiking, after having been sick, and then dealing with like just the struggle of trying to make miles again. You do not transition right back to crushing miles. And then particularly on the CDT southbound, just getting slammed with snow left and right, and then gates, and just running into issues on the reservations in New Mexico. I've just had to zig and zag and zig. I mean, it'll be funny almost to look at the route that I hiked across New Mexico. It's just been boom, 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 gradually working my way down south. Like, I was coming south down through like Antonito, Colorado, in the direction of Santa Fe, and then I was like, okay, I don't want to stay on these highways. I'm going to curve back onto the CDT. And then in Cuba, I found tons of snow in the mountains, and then the reservations were not really open to through travel on foot, so I had to then re-alternate all the way back out to Albuquerque. And then once I'm in Albuquerque, I came all the way back to Grants, and then from Grants south all the way to Silver City I was good. But then I found out the route I was gonna hike had a gate across it, so then I had to go all the way out to Lordsburg, and then cut all the way back across the Chihuahua desert. So each one of those all the way outs then had a back to it. And so at some point, really the buffer had been eaten away entirely, and I was in the hole. And I've just been trying to claw my way out of the hole, quite literally in the last 3 days, hiking up to my absolute limit. And all of that has amounted to, it is December 31st, and I am not comfortably walking to the border. I'm moving as fast as I can to get there, because it's literally down to the wire. I'm just floored that a year-long hike will come down to the last freaking day, and it's possible still that I won't make it. That's crazy. So I'm hiking through this wash, and it kind of like fans and splits and weaves with multiple sections. So it's easy to get turned around in here, particularly at night. Anyway, I was hiking, and Orion's belt is to the east. It rises in the east at night, right after the sun sets. And so it should be on my left, and I'm hiking, and I notice Orion's belt is on my right. I paused, I pulled my phone out, and I looked. I had, in fact, gotten turned around in the wash, and I was hiking the wrong direction back to where I had come from. Luckily, I caught it within 5 minutes, but the only reason I caught that so quickly was because I saw that Orion's belt was on my right. Those lights off in the distance are my first view of Mexico. I started hiking down a wash. Luckily, it was roughly parallel to the trail, but it wasn't on the trail, or the trail wasn't in the wash. The trail is somewhere over here, so I'm gonna push over to the trail, and hopefully it's faster than that wash, because the wash really started to deteriorate into boulders. The lights are getting closer. It's now 10 o'clock p.m. and the border is still 3 miles away. I don't know if you can see or not, but there are fireworks going off in whatever the border town is, right across, right down at the end of this road. I can see the whole skyline, but that must be the center of town, like right at the end of this road, because it's like every 30 seconds, just one border shell will go off. Let's see if we get another one up here. It is now 11 p.m. and I'm still not at the terminus, and I'm not on the trail. I'm close to the trail and to the terminus. Oh my god, I'm so tired. Back on the trail, you can see the fireworks going off in Mexico over there. If you want to understand the CDT in a nutshell, I am less than a mile away from the southern terminus, and I do not know where the trail is. This is so the CDT. It's raining, thanks to I got a few gear items that I needed. Other roads feel a little spooked right now.
Back in Liebestod.